Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is Monday evening, September 24th, 2018. Why are we here today, Leah? This evening on a special edition of Resistance Chicks. Because we couldn't keep from what in the world?
I'm trying to make it bigger. This is the current news cycle.
It's just so fast. We've gone into warp speed.
And out of control.
It's spinning out of control. I see it. Yeah. I liked the one that you showed me earlier of Lucille Ball and Ethel. You all have seen the scene. We have these puppies that just keep messing with the camera. I can't even. Where they're trying to work at that candy factory and the candy's going by. And they're trying to like eat the ones that they can't wrap. And Leah was saying the meme was saying that's what the MSM is trying to do as far as...
So, I couldn't sleep last night because I went to bed. Should not have looked at Twitter before I went to bed. And found out that there was a second accuser. Read all about her false accusation. And then...
Kavanaugh, second accuser.
And sorry, I've been obsessed all day and all night. Couldn't sleep.
That is not an understatement for Leah.
Because here's the thing. You guys know us. You know how fervently we fight for victims of abuse.
Yeah.
And I will go to the mattresses for victims of abuse. However,
absolutely,
it is just as evil to accuse someone of abuse who has not done it.
Right.
It literally is abusing that person. Sure. You might as well just go up to them and just beat them senseless. And it's not just Kavanaugh that they're beating senseless. It's their children are getting death threats. So their daughters are going to be traumatized by this for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
Kavanaugh is on the District Court of D.C. and he would lose his job over this as well. Like, this is not just like, hey, just step down. Because if you're just going to step down, then you'll need to leave you can never have a job again.
Right.
Like, he's in this because he's like, my whole reputation is on this. And we're going to show you a video that will, in my opinion, exonerate him. Because he's totally telling the truth.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be shocked by what he has to say, so stick with us. The other news was came out today. Axios, however you say it, reporting that Rosenstein was headed to the White House to resign. Then rumors were saying that Trump was firing him. And now Trump came out and said, we're going to meet on Thursday. We're going to talk about these things. Now, what are they going to discuss? They're going to discuss the fact that Andrew McCabe, you guys remember Andrew McCabe, he has been fired from the FBI. He was acting director under Comey. He was under Comey.
Right.
I believe. I get their positions a bit mixed up because they're so intertwined. The CIA seems to be over to the side on a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. It's the DOJ and the FBI, like, totally overlapping with... We know Lisa Page and Peter Strzok are FBI.
Right.
We know Comey's FBI. We know that we are... What?
Why? Okay. Nothing. I just need to figure out... I'm not actually tweeting this on Resistance Chicks.
I'm
tweeting it on Mass Faith 3.
Mm-hmm, just need to switch.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to switch.
You haven't been on Twitter in a while. You got a lot of notifications. It's hilarious. So anyways, Rosenstein has not resigned, but he has resigned. Oh my gosh. Nobody, and like, seriously, and you've got like, I think Vanity Fair and Axios, like, fighting over this because, one of the reporters said, I didn't mean that he was going to resign. I just meant that he was going to, like, resign. It's so weird. So, here's what we have in the latest at 4 o'clock this afternoon that I've seen. Rosenstein grew emotional at the White House, reiterated he wants to resign, and is concerned Trump will attack him if they don't have an amicable split One reason he wants to quit is he doesn't want to testify on the Hill about allegations. Now, it came out in the New York Times that somebody leaked, most likely McCabe, his own written memos of a meeting that a bunch of them had.
Okay.
Lisa Page was there. Rod Rosenstein was there, and it was a McCabe, and they were all pressuring him for some reason. We don't know what, but at some point he said he supposedly in the memo says that he didn't joke, but he was serious about wearing a wiretap. Do you want me to wear a wiretap around Trump? Mm-hmm. And the memo says that he talked about approaching Jeff Sessions and John Kelly to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Oh my gosh.
That's what Andrew McCabe says. So Tucker Carlson says to Matt Gaetz, I believe, last night, like, listen, you need to tell the president that you need to ask yourselves why, this is Friday, I think, why would Andrew McCabe leak this now? Mm-hmm. Or why would they leak it now?
Right.
New York Times is not a friend of Trump. Right. They want him to fire Rosenstein because he, in effect, is over Mueller's investigation. It taints the whole thing. Right. Starts a whole other process. They have to keep it going, just like with these accusations. They know the Mueller investigation is getting ready to wind up. Yeah. So if they could get Trump on more obstruction by firing Rosenstein, because he had reason to fire Comey, and he would have reason to fire Rosenstein if he was saying he would wiretap himself to spy on the president. Yeah. Of course, the president should fire him, but why do they want him to fire him? Yeah. To keep this whole charade going.
It's far more nefarious than it seems. You can't just say, oh, look, they want to do the same things that we want to do. So maybe their reasoning for doing it is the same as ours. It's not.
No. So I'm with Tucker on this. Like, don't fire him, Trump. But if he resigns, there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
As somebody said, getting ready to set up his GoFundMe. Getting $500,000, $1 million from taxpayers like McCabe has. Right. So here's the latest. We honestly don't know any facts. This is just all hearsay. When Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, headed to the White House on Monday morning, he was ready to resign and convinced, wrongly it turned out, that President Trump was about to fire him. We don't know if this is true. This is from the New York Times again. Okay? Now remember, New York Times wants him fired. Yeah. Why do they want them fired?
That's a good question.
So this is all lies. We don't know. The top Justice Department aide scrambled a draft statement about who would succeed him. By the afternoon, Mr. Rosenstein was back at his Pennsylvania Avenue office just 7 blocks away, still employed as in second in command at the Justice Department. The Democrats' plot foiled for another day. What happened in between is a confusing drama in which buzzy news reports of Mr. Rosenstein's imminent departure set in motion a dash to the White House, an offer to resign, Capitol Hill speculation about Mr. Rosenstein's successor, and finally a reprieve from an out-of-town president. We'll be determining what's going on, he said. And I think I have a clip.
The president said.
He says we're going to meet on Thursday when he gets back. Even for an administration famous for chaos and rival factions, Monday's events offered a remarkable display of anxiety gripping the Trump administration after a New York Times report, on Friday said that Mr. Rosenstein had considered secretly taping the president and discussed using the 25th Amendment to remove him from office. Now, Rosenstein said it was in jest. People on Fox News have been on saying their sources say it was more like people getting up in his face, and he says, "What do you want me to do? Wear a wire?" Here's the thing. If it's between Andrew McCabe's memos in the New York Times and Rod Rosenstein, I don't really want to believe either, right? But I'm going to go with Rod Rosenstein on this.
Okay.
It's like the lesser two evils. Rock, hard place. Depends on how hard the hard place is. You know what I mean? So weird. They're still standing behind us. They're not saying that Rod Rosenstein called the account inaccurate, but it raised new questions about the fate of the Deputy Attorney General, who has repeatedly clashed with President Trump. Mr. Trump.
You know, that's so
Mr. Trump.
Interesting. Good call there.
Mr. Trump, it says here in the New York Times. Do you think they would say Mr. Obama? Ever. They would say President Obama, wouldn't they?
You have to say president, don't you? I mean, not by law or
They
anything,
hate him so much. They said Mr. Trump. You get to be it's like
New York Times saying not my president.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so like you go up to your doctor and you call him Mr. Smith.
Yeah, you don't do
no,
that.
you just say, hey, doctor. You always, go to your doctor, you say doctor.
Right.
You never call them Mr. So-and-so. It's just, that's what you do. But presidents even more so. You know, I don't want to say President Obama.
But if they were talking about a pastor, wouldn't they say Reverend?
Exactly.
Pastor.
Oh, sure.
You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mr. Trumps.
What if they were talking about...
There's Eric Trump.
A judge.
There's Don Jr. Those are all... You have to clarify that you're talking about President Trump.
Right.
So this is horrible reporting.
I think it's purposeful.
Critics called for him to be fired. Allies demanded he stay. This account of the events of the past days is based on interviews with people close to Mr. Rosenstein, White House advisors, Justice Department officials, lawmakers from both parties by Friday evening concerned about testifying to Congress over the revelations that he discussed. That's the cinnamon rolls. Sorry, guys. Timing on these things. And then the bread. The bread needs to be in for another 35 minutes. Thanks. I'm stuck here on the left here. Invoking the constitutional trigger to remove Mr. Trump from office, Mr. Rosenstein had become convinced that he should resign. According to people close to him, he offered during a late-day visit to the White House to quit, according to one person familiar with the encounter. But John Kelly demurred. And so we're hearing all kinds of things. No, I'm not sure. I am not sure. They might. If they don't look done, then they're not done. Make your best call. Give him another 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be fine. Give him 5. Give him 5.
They might be done.
Check back in 5. No, they're not done. I'm sure they're not done. If they don't look done, they're not done. Aides began planning over the weekend for his departure, going into the Justice Department to determine how to recalibrate in the aftermath. So I guess around 9 a.m. Monday, Mr. Rosenstein was in his office. Was it true that Mr. Rosenstein was planning to resign, they asked. Officials at the Justice Department took the inquiries as evidence that the White House wanted to speed along that outcome. We honestly don't know if any of this is true. Two people familiar with the discussions described Mr. Kelly as conflicted about Mr. Rosenstein's fate, believing that a departure before the midterm elections in November would be bad for the president. At some point, Mr. Rosenstein and Mr. Trump, they really hate him.
Sure they do.
They really hate him.
They probably have a rule that they're not allowed to say president at all.
Had what the president's spokeswoman called an extended conversation about the Times article. Mr. Trump said the two spoke Monday, but did not say when. And Trump's got stuff to do. Like he's like meeting with South Korea right now. He's meeting with world leaders. He's got stuff to do, guys. This is just like all delay.
You know, I find that Trump actually works far more than Obama
Oh my
did.
gosh, the
Obama
guy
was
never
always taking
stops.
trips.
I have never seen a president so busy trying to make our lives better. Like, I don't know how he keeps going. Like, he does these rallies until like midnight. He's always changing time zones. I'm tired about a half day of work. Like, how he does this. He's like the bionic man. Okay. And I'm not a Trump worshiper. I am literally shocked at the stamina that this old guy has. Like, he doesn't seem like an old guy. Like, Hillary Clinton can't make it up the stairs.
Right.
She's tripping and falling.
I think I would feel better if he lost a little bit of weight, though. Like, for his own case.
No, because it's obviously helping him. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at you, Slim Jim. You couldn't do what he does.
That's true.
You would be a mess.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
aggravated and angry and snapping at people all the time.
What are you talking about?
You know you couldn't do what he does.
I couldn't actually. Right.
You know it.
You're right.
You know it. All right. It shocks me. It literally shocks me. Okay, that's why I say that. Slim Jim. That's funny. All right, we are going to get to Kavanaugh, but okay, here's from Matt Gaetz here. Is our speaker working? You said it was working?
It is working.
We have the speaker of the house here. Get
Literally, yeah, I fixed it this afternoon.
Doggy chomped through that.
God bless puppies.
There's Matt Gaetz. He wants Rod Rosenstein on the witness stand. And if Rod Rosenstein retires or resigns, I don't believe they have the authority to recall him. I don't know, but that's what he's saying is going to happen. And the powers that be don't want me to bring it up because it is not playing. Matt Gaetz. Where's your play button? Where's my play?
It was right there.
I know. We're going to try this again. We're going to try moving it. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Technology.
Maybe Trump drinks Brain Force Max.
You know what?
I bet he drinks, he probably takes super male vitality as well. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go with that.
We're going to just try to go to Matt Gaetz's profile here and see.
Maybe he has access to some secret health innovation.
None of
Tariq Covington says.
If none of my videos are playing of Matt Gaetz right now, like, I need to know what's happening.
Conspiracy. It's not just a conspiracy theory if it's really happening.
So, I don't know what's going on with my internet, guys.
You're having trouble with the internet because the
time.
people are here.
Like, everything's frozen.
Oh.
Jim Jordan, regardless of what happens to Mr. Rosenstein, he needs to appear in front of the Judiciary Committee. We can't have the head of the Justice Department, even if it's sarcasm, talking to subordinates about recording the Commander-in-Chief. He needs to answer our questions. I'm going to go over here and connect to my other
I can probably
Wi-Fi.
pull it up here. It's Matt Gaetz on Twitter.
Matt Gaetz on Twitter.
Which one of these?
Matt Gaetz with the check mark.
There's not a check mark. Is it? Am I spelling it right? Is it G-A-I-T?
G-A-E-T-Z.
Oh, well, why didn't you say that?
There it is.
That's not even normal. All right, right here.
Your thoughts about where we're headed with this?
There's a couple of them, but that one will work.
All right, let's switch over. Bring it to the people. All right, Lou. This is a minute and 40 seconds. Are we gonna need more than this?
There's a couple, but you could just scroll through what he has to say. It's okay. We're gonna move on. Kavanaugh is my big story.
Okay.
I'm so frustrated.
Here. There we go.
Meeting scheduled Thursday with Rosenstein at the White House. Where are we, and what do you think the prospects are?
Well, we've got to move beyond a circumstance where we've got, claims from Andrew McCabe, who we know is a liar, in the New York Times. We've got to get answers under oath. And here's what we know, Lou. Rod Rosenstein has never denied that he made mention of wearing a wire on the President of the United States. What's in question is whether that was serious or whether it was a joke, or maybe it was a joke that he hoped would become serious. Sometimes people tell jokes at the beginning, but either way, it is inappropriate for the Deputy Attorney General of the United States to even be joking about wearing a wire on the President in the presence of colleagues and subordinates. I think Rod Rosenstein needs to be in the witness chair this week in the House Judiciary Committee. He needs to go under oath and explain these circumstances.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting approach. I think you're exactly right. The question is, how do you get him there? And
I've got an answer to that, Lou. There are articles of impeachment against Rod Rosenstein that are currently pending. Any member of Congress can call those up, and they have to be dealt with within 2 days. If our leadership will not put Rod Rosenstein in that witness chair so the American people can get answers,
So creepy.
Mark Meadows and I are prepared to call up his impeachment and force a vote. That would keep Congress in session potentially for a few extra days. The leadership wants to send us all home to campaign, but this is important. It goes to the foundation of the institution of the presidency, and if we don't get answers, we might start demanding votes.
That man is sweating. I say put him on a poly.
Did you have another one you wanted to do?
If you just scroll up, I think.
That was the first one on his page.
Well,
You mean scroll down
actually,
right
this
here?
one's here. He's got it one from the Times, or from CNN, actually.
I'm not seeing it on his tweets.
I'm right here. I'm in the same place as
You
you.
can't be. You're actually on a different one.
Oh, you're on the Representative Matt Gaetz, and I'm at Matt Gaetz, House candidate.
This is really funny. Why does he have two?
Take the facts in the light most favorable to Rod Rosenstein, that he was joking, that it was a moment to relieve tension. I don't think it's appropriate to joke about taking an action against the institution of the presidency while you're overseeing an investigation.
Fireable?
Probably depending on the context, to even joke about it. I mean, look, I look back to General Mattis's reaction when he was asked about some of the things in the Woodward book. He said, not only would I not say those things, I would not tolerate them at the Department of Defense. We should not have a different standard for the Department of Defense and Department of Justice.
Do we know for a fact that Mattis didn't say those things that he's
Well,
quoted saying?
what we have is a denial with Mattis. What we don't have is a denial with Rosenstein.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah, Mattis unequivocally.
No, I know Mattis did, but you don't like those two denials from Rosenstein?
Well, what I don't like about those denials is that he does not explicitly deny saying that he raised the prospect of wearing a wire on the
I think
president.
he's a little cute in the denials.
I do, and if you look at him, he really does leave that prospect open, but it's unfair to the country for you and I to be having this discussion in the absence of facts under oath. That's the only way we're going to get it done. And here's what I worry about, Chris. I think that our leadership wants to send us home at the end of the week and tell us to go campaign for the midterms, and that we really won't get these answers. Rod Rosenstein's impeachment can be brought up for a vote by any member of Congress at this point. It lights a 2-day fuse. Mark Meadows and I have said that if we don't get these answers under oath, we may invoke that vote to keep the Congress in town so that we can get to the bottom of this.
That wouldn't make you very popular. So let's talk about the popularity.
Not very popular.
You are here. Let's talk about the popularity of the ultimate move, okay? So let's say it plays out your way, that Thursday isn't satisfying for the president. He wants to know more. Or not. And let's say he is okay with it, and there winds up being a move. Forcing him to resign or firing him, which would you prefer?
I don't have a preference. To me, it's more about whether or not the Department of Justice can be trusted to execute their mission. With Rosenstein, it's the guy who hired Mueller the day after Trump said he wasn't going to hire Mueller to be the FBI director. It's the guy who signed the FISA warrant. It's the guy that many in Congress believe is improperly redacting information that we have a right to see.
It's the guy Trump picked.
Yeah, well, no, true, absolutely true. Fair point. But I think the president has illuminated his thinking on that. It was the beginning of the administration. It's who Jeff Sessions wanted. And now you see Jeff Sessions, barely the attorney general, on the most important investigation in the country.
There is a practical consideration, though, here, and a political one, obviously. If he resigns, legally, president replaces the two positions, deputy attorney general in charge of the Russia investigation. He has both hats. He can do it, replaces them. If he fires Rosenstein, then he can't. Then he's got to put up a nominee, go to the Senate for confirmation. There's a process. So it matters from a practicality standpoint.
Yeah, it's just not something that a member of Congress has any impact or influence over. To me, the bigger question is, are you going to allow this activity to occur within the administration? We know that there are people inside the Trump administration that are actively working against the president. The deputy attorney general should not be one of them.
Okay.
Well said, Matt Gaetz.
I see Cuomo there chomping at the bit. Did you see him?
Yes,
He liked that interview way too much.
he did.
He likes the idea. All this is so good to them. They want Rosenstein. They got a plan.
They do.
They got a plan.
Creepy.
Rosenstein has a plan. The mainstream media has a plan. They're ready to pounce. They just want the president to fire the guy.
Right.
President Trump, if you're watching this, don't fire Rosenstein.
If you're watching Resistance Chicks, President Trump,
Let it come out with the House Judiciary Committee, the truth. Demand that he sit down and talk to the House Judiciary Committee.
right?
That is what you should do as president. Like, if you want to put your weight into something, just say, listen, if you're going to sit with him, say, tell you what, I don't want to fire you. I want
Right.
you to answer these questions. You're accountable to the Congress first. You
Right.
go talk to them.
Yeah.
You tell them under oath everything.
Yep.
That's
I
what
agree.
that's what needs to happen, right?
Yes.
Under oath, you tell them under perjury, felony charges, going to prison. If you lie, you go to prison.
Yes.
You go and tell them the truth of what you meant in that room. And you bring Andrew McCabe, you bring Lisa Page, you bring everybody who came from that room, and you say, what did you think he meant?
Yeah.
What happened in that room that day? We all want to know. We all need to know. We all deserve to know.
Yeah.
Let's get some answers. Let's see, because McCabe is throwing people under the bus. Why? You know what I mean? You keep looking at me.
Well,
So
no,
weird.
what I'm actually thinking is I don't know if I'd put them all together in one room. I would ask them individually so they wouldn't be able to feed off of each other and find out and feel what the other one was saying.
No, if you have an open thing, it's all going to go. It's all going to be mismatched. It's all going to be mismatched. Okay, so let me see if I got anything else on this before we go to Kavanaugh, because that's the big story right now, guys. So embarrassing for the left. Okay.
You want me to just go straight to the Fox News interview?
Yeah,
or?
we're gonna end with a little InfoWars here. No.
Okay.
This is the Axe Waste Issues critical clarification to the Rosenstein resignation. They messed that one up. All right, so before we get into Kavanaugh, you guys might know this guy named Keith Ellison. He's running for Attorney General, some state, dude. I can't keep up with where all these people are from, but I do know he's a former congressman. Democrat leaders continue to call for the feds to investigate decades-old, quote-unquote, credible sexual harassment claims. Is she trying to sit down? Against Judge Brett Kavanaugh. The same Democrats, with the exception of Hawaii Senator Maia Hirono, continue to remain largely silent over two women who have accused six-term congressman and deputy DNC chair, that's what he is, the DNC chair, Democratic National Committee, Keith Ellison, of physical and verbal abuse. In August, Ellison's former partner, Karen Moahan, accused him of verbal and physical abuse, including repeated insults, emotional manipulation, infidelity, and an incident in which Ellison dragged her off of a bed by her legs and told her to get the F out of his house. She's on Twitter. She has confirmed these allegations. She says, somebody says, Democrats say believe women, they believe you? And she says, no, they don't. I have been smeared, threatened, isolated from my own party. I provided medical records from 2017 stating on 2 different doctor visits I told them about the abuse and who did it. My therapist released records stating I have been dealing with healing from the abuse. Monahan, who says she has been smeared and threatened and isolated. The paper continues, she did not have any physical injuries that required a physical examination in the past. She identifies the individual as Congressman Ellison, and she is worried about retribution if she identifies him publicly. When she posts this, it gets deleted. And her son had a statement. You guys can read about that. And here is a 911 call from 2005, May 16th, about abuse. The caller's name has been redacted in the report, but according to research records, Amy Alexander, who spoke out in 2006 about her relationship with Ellison, lived at this address, and Ellison is named in the 911 report. She wrote in 2006, I regret that I too was duped by Keith Ellison's considerable charm. I was seduced by the idea of what I thought he represented. As a perennial Democrat, activist from the north side of Minneapolis, I worked for and with Ellison on a number of issues and community things. Ellison denies it and says, people are going to come out and say stuff, which is what we actually have with Brett Kavanaugh. So, no, don't be signed up, Sean. I'm not a Democrat either. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to click on it.
You have to click on it.
No. Fine. I'm whatever. No. Okay, so late last night, before late last night, it looked like things were turning up. Turning up, whatever. That Ford's girlfriend, the woman who's accusing Kavanaugh of assault, who Ford says was there. We told you guys this on Sunday. Randomly comes
her lifelong friend
says she never met Brett Kavanaugh, was never at a party like this. No one can corroborate her story. So right on
your
time,
own friend ain't backing you up.
They wanted to push this thing past Monday into Thursday. Why? Because these things are going to keep coming out and keep coming out and keep coming out. So what we have now is an accuser. Her name is Ramirez, I believe. And I'm just going to get this. I want to get her name right. Yeah, Breitbart here has a good article on it. Let's see.
Podum 13 says, I have more faith in people saying that they were abducted by aliens under hypnosis than those Kavanaugh victims. I agree with you.
Well, we're going to go to Kavanaugh's defense in a minute. Okay, Ramirez. And what's interesting is that this is Ronan Farrow came out with this in the New Yorker. The New York Times passed it up because they couldn't corroborate anything. This is the worst one anybody has ever done on anyone, because the woman literally says that she thought she had a memory and it could possibly be Brett that exposed himself to her at a drunken party.
Took her 6 days
to try to
concrete that it was Brett Kavanaugh.
But here's the thing. She called all her friends to say, do you remember this happened? And do you remember if it was Brett? And no one remembered it. And no one said it was Brett. But in calling all these people, then she became sure.
Right.
Even though all these people denied it. It's absolutely insane. So Ronan Farrow and this other article lady writer, Maia, deserve credit for writing the full story. A story that not only appears to debunk Deborah Ramirez's allegation, but expose how the institutional left is aggressively working behind the scenes to destroy Kavanaugh with spurious accusations. The Democrats actually had this story. Where did it come from? How did they hear about it? She said she wanted to come out and tell her story before it was leaked. But who did you tell?
Well, and Judge Janine actually, in this clip, we're probably not going to get that far in that clip, but she says, so she's so afraid that somebody else is going to leak her story before she gets a chance to leak it, and yet everybody that she's asked to corroborate her story says they don't remember it happening. Tim Smith in the chat says, did they cover the fact that the husband claims that she loves attention? She feels like she's been shortchanged, essentially. She came from a male-dominated household, and she resents men.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that, but I believe you.
Yeah, and she first said she needed to drive there because she couldn't fly, but she spent a year in Hawaii and crazy stuff like that. So she says she was drunk. Here's a piece from the New Yorker. In her initial conversations with the New Yorker, she was reluctant to characterize Kavanaugh's role in the alleged incident with certainty.
Hang on, though, because Kavanaugh's role in the incident makes it sound like there might have been more people in the incident.
Well, there were.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, the second accuser with, I thought you meant where he exposed himself.
The second accuser, yeah, that's this one. Second accuser in the exposing oneself was at a party with a bunch of people, and they were playing drunken games, and supposedly he exposed himself to her.
Right, but that sounds like a singular thing.
There were a bunch of people in a room. They're playing a drunken game, like Truth and Dare.
Okay, I'm just saying, Kavanaugh exposing himself, he's the only role in there. There's not another role that somebody else is going to take.
The role was egging him on, do this, do that, do this, like Truth and Dare type thing.
Okay, I'm still just saying that sounds bogus to me.
Okay. After 6 days of carefully assessing her memories and consulting with her attorney, Ramirez said that she felt confident enough that her recollections to say that she remembers Kavanaugh had exposed himself at a drunken dormitory party, thrust his male genitalia into her face, and caused her to touch it without consent as she pushed him away.
Again, there we are with Kavanaugh's part in this incident, his role in this. It's a one-person deal, Leah. I mean, seriously, this isn't like there were 3 guys who all did this, and then she's not sure of his role in it.
In other words, a full 35 years after the incident occurred, Ramirez could not put the finger on Kavanaugh as the alleged flasher. Now, can I just, for one moment, there is a thing that went around, it was called Girls Gone Wild. And girls would just randomly go flashing themselves. Could somebody explain why it's okay for girls to randomly go around flashing themselves? Is that not...
You mean flashing other people, but yeah.
Flashing
their shirts.
Flashing themselves.
Right.
Whatever. To all these people. Is that not sexual harassment, and shouldn't they all, like, be in jail?
Yes.
Because isn't the same as a guy dropping his drawers?
Yes. Oh my gosh, though, I do have to tell you something.
I don't like where this is going.
No, I have to tell it. I totally have to tell it. Because it's better that it comes out now. I just had a memory. I'm in 6th grade.
Oh dear.
I'm going to expose the name. The kid's name was Justin West. 6th grade. We were standing in line to go to the gym, and the kid's got boxers on, and he keeps pulling his pants down, and he keeps pulling them down, and he keeps pulling them down, right? Like you've heard me tell this story before, and he keeps pulling them down. And so I was like, you know what? If you're just going to keep doing that, boom, I just yanked his drawers all the way down. Not his boxer shorts, okay, just the pants that he already had that far down, like on his thighs, okay, and they were about to come off all the way. I did do that. So now when I said I've never been assaulted, I assaulted someone. I am confessing it here on live television. I just remembered that. Totally just remembered it. Justin, I'm really sorry about that, buddy. You're probably on Facebook. If it ever comes out, at least I confessed it, that happened, and you have a Me Too moment. And it was Michelle. Listen, if I ever run for office and I'm ever president and he comes out and says, I'm going to be like, dude, I admitted it on Resistance Chick September 24, 2018. I told everybody that happened. So, and I did get in trouble for it, by the way. My teacher pulled me aside and she was like, Michelle, you know, because he was really upset and really embarrassed. He was really, really upset. And then
why was
bad.
he pulling his pants down?
I know, but I felt bad and I apologized to him and he signed my yearbook after that. I mean, literally, I mean, I have it. I still have it.
Okay, let's go to
the 6th grade.
Let's go to Brett Kavanaugh. Oh, I'm supposed to send you the video. I'm going to tell you which one we want to watch. We want to watch.
I've got the 20-minute one.
Yeah, we want to watch this one.
We're on Fox News.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if you're going to find it. I'm going to tweet it out.
She's going to tweet it out now that I've admitted my. Dang it.
That's absolutely hilarious.
I was bigger than he was, by the way, so definitely overpowered that situation.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
Okay, I tweeted it out. All right, while she's bringing that up. Kavanaugh, oh, you're gonna. I just want you to hear it yourself. I don't want to go. I want you to hear it yourself.
Wait, I've got the video.
I know. Okay. Go ahead. Start with the Brett thing.
Okay, we're gonna go this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's really hot in here. I can like not even breathe. I'm like really sweating.
The truth is, I've never sexually assaulted anyone in high school or otherwise. I am not questioning and have not questioned that perhaps Dr. Ford at some point in her life was sexually assaulted by someone in some place. But what I know is I've never sexually assaulted anyone. I'm not going to let false accusations drive us out of this process, and we're looking for a fair process where I can be heard and defend my integrity, my lifelong record of promoting dignity and equality for women, starting with the women who knew me when I was 14 years old. I'm not going anywhere.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh and his wife speaking exclusively to Martha McCallum. You'll see that full interview in the next hour on The Story. Let's bring in our panel. Chris Steyerwalt is politics editor here at Fox News. Molly Hemingway, senior editor at The Federalist. And Dan Balls, national political correspondent at The Washington Post. Dan, obviously, the White House, Judge Kavanaugh saying this is a fight and they're engaged, which is why he's coming out.
Hang on, I'm trying to make this bigger, but
totally.
It's not going anywhere.
And this is not a legal proceeding that we're involved in. This is a political process. This is a confirmation hearing, and that's what's going to play out this week. There are two courts of public opinion. One is the public at large and how they come away after Thursday in determining which person they believe more.
No, it'll play. Okay, Leah tells me this is not the video.
Because
I have the 20-minute. I have the 20-minute one. If you want me to play that one,
I think this might be the one. No, I don't want you to play the 20-minute one, honestly.
Okay. We're just gonna wait a minute.
I thought I had it up. Okay. This one's it.
You tweeting that out now?
I think so. Try this again.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I gotta tell you guys, our tech team gets paid the big bucks.
Yes, they do. We got a mail call to do, by the way.
We'll do that. We're not gonna do that.
No, I know. Just saying. Here we go.
I am looking for a fair process. Yeah. A process where I can defend my integrity.
Here.
And clear my name.
Let's try that. We're going to try again, guys, because I want it to be bigger. Wait.
Now I get an ad. Jeez, you have to mute it. Just please mute the ad.
I can't mute it. Now it just clicked on me. I'm clicking on the actual ad by muting it. See?
You can mute the computer.
The first day can feel uncomfortable. You're close.
Should have let me play
They literally
it
will
here.
not let me mute the
You
thing.
should let me. Wait, it's almost over. Just
Let's
finish
shouldn't.
it.
Cotton, the fabric of our lives.
The fabric of our lives. Okay.
I am looking for a fair process. A process where I can defend my integrity.
How does that feel?
Oh, I thought that she was like.
All I'm asking for my name.
Okay.
And all I'm asking for is fairness. and that I be heard in this process.
Ashley, what has this been like for you the past couple of weeks? I know you've had death threats and all kinds of things coming your way. How does that feel?
This process is incredibly difficult. Harder than we imagined. And we imagined it might be.
I don't know if I switched over because I'm looking at it. Hang on. No, it's there.
Okay. Tech team.
Listen.
Tech team.
Okay. Well, it's not showing up on my... Maybe I'm just behind on... Oh, I'm way behind on the video. That's all it is. Okay, I'm sorry.
They're like wanting to hear what's going on next.
It's very hard. But at the end of the day, our faith is strong.
On
and
chat here, and the video was lagging.
Know that we're on the right path. We're just going to stick to it. So...
Let's get into some of these allegations, because you've responded to them in statements, but you haven't had a chance to respond to them in a fuller way. And Christine Ford is expected to testify on Thursday that you, at a party in high school, pinned her to a bed, held your hand over her mouth. She said she was afraid that she could inadvertently be killed at that moment. She says that you tried to take off her clothes, and she believes that you would have raped her if Mark Judge hadn't climbed on top and everyone tumbled to the floor, and then she had an opportunity to get away. Now, she doesn't remember the date and she doesn't remember the place, but what she does remember that I just detailed is very specific. And other assault victims say that they've had similar memories where they remembered exactly what happened, but they didn't necessarily remember the events surrounding it. You have categorically denied that this happened. Did anything happen?
No, I've never sexually assaulted anyone. Not in high school, not ever. I've always treated women with dignity and respect. Listen to the people who've known me best through my whole life. The women who've known me since high school. The 65 who overnight signed a letter from high school saying I always treated them with dignity and respect.
But with regards to Christine Ford, do you know her?
I may have met her. We did not travel in the same social circles. She was not a friend, not someone I knew.
You don't remember ever being at parties with her ever?
I do not. And this is an allegation about a party in the summer of 1982 at a house near Connecticut Avenue and East-West Highway with 5 people present. I was never at any such party. The other people who are alleged to be present have said they do not remember any such party. A woman who was present, another woman who was present, who is Dr. Ford's lifelong friend, has said she doesn't know me and never remembers being at a party with me at any time in her life. All I'm asking for is a fair process where I can be heard.
And to this date, no one has corroborated the story that she has told, as you accurately point out. But there's no chance that there was something between the two of you, that maybe she misunderstood the exchange that you had? Nothing ever physical? You never met her, never kissed her, never touched her, nothing that you remember?
Correct. I have never had any sexual or physical activity with Dr. Ford. I've never sexually assaulted anyone in high school or otherwise.
So where do you think this is coming from? Why would she make this up?
What I know is the truth, and the truth is I've never sexually assaulted anyone
awful to make somebody
in
speculate.
high school or otherwise.
They're not going to really hear you.
That's awful to make somebody speculate. Well,
Right.
why do you think she's making it up?
Right.
I don't know. I just know I didn't do it.
And that was his answer, and it was the perfect answer, by
I
the way.
don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I am not questioning and have not questioned that perhaps Dr. Ford at some point in her life was sexually assaulted by someone in some place. But what I know is I've never sexually assaulted anyone in high school or at any time.
So when she says there's no doubt in her mind that it was you, because she was asked that, is it possible that you maybe confused him, maybe it's mistaken identity, maybe it was someone else? She said absolutely not.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone. I was not at the party described. I was not anywhere at any place resembling that in the summer of 1982. The other people alleged to be there don't say anything like that. And the woman who's alleged to be there, who's her friend, says that she doesn't know me and doesn't recall ever being at a party with me in her life.
So let me ask Ashley, when this came out, what did you say to your husband? Did you question him? And have moments where you wondered if he was telling you the truth?
No. I mean, I know Brett. I've known him for 17 years. And this is not at all character. It's really hard to believe. He's decent. He's kind. He's good. I know his heart. This is not consistent with Brett.
So now, over the weekend, you've got new allegations. And obviously, these other allegations, they say that they are standing up basically in support of Christine Ford, that they wouldn't have come forward otherwise, but they don't want her to be made out to look like a liar. And Deborah Ramirez was a freshman at Yale. She says she was at a dorm party, and this happened. Quote, Brett was laughing. I can still see his face and his hips coming forward like when you pull up your pants. I'm confident about the pants coming up, and I'm confident about Brett being there. She was initially uncertain it was you, they write in this piece, but after 6 days, she's confident enough, she says. Should the American people view her as credible?
I never did any such thing. Never did any such thing. The other people alleged to be there don't recall any such thing. If such a thing had happened, it would have been the talk of campus. The women I knew in college and the men I knew in college says it's inconceivable that I could have done such a thing. And the New York Times has reported that just last week, the person making the accusation was calling other classmates saying she was not sure that I had done this. Again, just asking for a fair process where I can be heard and I can defend my integrity.
Yeah, as you say, other Yale classmates were asked by her if they recalled the incident and told some of them that she couldn't be certain that Mr. Kavanaugh was the one who exposed himself. So she appears to be expressing some uncertainty. Given the doubts, are you surprised that the New Yorker published this account?
I'm not going to comment on the New Yorker's journalistic practices. The New York Times said they could not corroborate this story and said that the person making the accusation had been calling around last week to other classmates indicating her uncertainty about whether I had ever done such a thing. Again, I'm just asking for a fair process where I can be heard and defend my integrity and defend my family's integrity.
There was one roommate, I think his last name was Roche, who said, that he could see this kind of thing happening, that you drank a lot in high school, drank a lot in college, and although he hadn't seen or heard this incident himself, that it added up to him, that it made sense that you treated women that way.
I've always treated women with dignity and respect. He does not corroborate the incident at all. The incident did not happen.
You remember him? He was your roommate.
I do remember him.
So why do you think he would say that?
What I know, I'm not going to speculate about motives. I know I never did that. If I had done that, it would have been the talk of campus. And we have the report saying that even as late as the last few weeks, she was calling around and not certain. What I know is I've always treated women with dignity and respect. Listen to the women who've known me my whole life. A letter from friends I knew in high school, produced overnight, 65 women who knew me in high school. Women I knew in college who said how much I supported their women athletics, their letter and their goals. When I worked in the Bush White House, 84 women signed a letter saying that in the pressurized environment of the West Wing, I always treated them with equality and promoted women's advancement.
We've heard from them. We've spoken to a couple of those women on our show who signed that original letter, who stuck up for you unequivocally. That is absolutely true. Now you've got more allegations. So you've got this sort of attempt to kind of swarm a number of people who are putting at least enough doubt out there so that this process will be stymied, so that it will take longer, and so that they will get the investigation that they're looking for. Michael Avenatti says that he has significant evidence, and another accuser who claims that you and Mark Judge at multiple house parties in the Washington, D.C. area during the 1980s would participate in the targeting of women with alcohol and drugs to allow a train of men to subsequently gang rape them. There are multiple witnesses that will corroborate these facts, and each of them must be called to testify publicly. Did you ever participate in, or were you ever aware?
Okay, this particular accusation is creepy porn lawyer. Obviously watches a lot of porn. I'm guessing to people who don't watch a lot of porn that they don't know that this is a thing. Like, I think from what I'm gathering from creepy porn lawyer is he has literally put upon Brett Kavanaugh the worst thing that he can think of and he can imagine from his visual experiences and maybe experiences in his own life, Michael Avanti. And all he needs to do is obstruct this hearing long enough to get it past October 1st. And then nobody's on the bench. Doesn't matter. So what he had to do, I think that in throwing out this sort of accusation, it sinks the boat for the Democrats all around. Like, they should have played their cards a little bit better. But with the creepy porn lawyer entering in, we're all just like, I'm done. I'm done. It muddies the water for the other two. Even if there was any hint of respectability there, it's gone with creepy porn lawyer and the drugs and the alcohol and the gang raping, because that would have been a thing that everybody remembered. Okay, a gang raping thing. You would have, this is absolutely out of control.
Have we gotten to the punchline yet?
Not yet.
Of any gang rape that happened at a party that you attended.
That's totally false and outrageous. Never done any such thing, known about any such thing. When I was in high school, and I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, a Jesuit high school, where I was focused on academics and athletics, going to church every Sunday at Little Flower, working on my service projects, and friendship with my fellow classmates, and friendship with girls from the local all-girls Catholic schools. And yes, there were parties, and the drinking age was 18, and yes, the seniors were legal and had beer there. And yes, people might have had too many beers on occasion, and people generally in high school, I think all of us have probably done things we look back on in high school and regret or cringe a bit, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an allegation of sexual assault. I've never sexually assaulted anyone. I did not have sexual intercourse or anything close to sexual intercourse in high school or for many years thereafter. And the girls from the schools I went to and I were friends.
So you're saying that through all these years that are in question, you were a virgin?
That's correct.
Never had sexual intercourse with anyone in high school?
Correct.
And through what years in college, since we're probing into your personal life here?
Many years after. I'll leave it at that. Many years after. And the people I went to high school with, the girls and the boys, now men and women that I went to high school with, I was good friends with them, and we remain good friends. That's how 65 people on a moment's notice, 65 women, it's 220 people total, men and women, who knew me in high school. And I would say, fair process, let me be heard, fair process, hear from both sides, and listen to me and the facts I've described, and listen to the people who've known me throughout my life, the men and women, the women who've known me throughout my life, who've known me best. And in my job as a judge for 12 years, I've been promoting women's equality. There was a problem with women law clerks getting hired at the Supreme Court. I am the leading federal judge in the country, the leader in the entire country of promoting women law clerks to get Supreme Court clerkships. For the last 7 years, I've been coaching girls basketball. Ask the moms.
So what do you think is happening? What's happening?
I don't know, but I want to...
Please rewind that. Wait. So, what do you think is happening? What is happening?
Everybody's a little confused.
Because you know what? She just sat there and I'm seeing it in the chat. I believe him. I believe him. I believe him. I believe him. There is a difference between looking at creepy Rod Rosenstein and Brett Kavanaugh. You believe this guy, okay? Let me Harvey Weinstein. Unbelievable. You can't believe that guy. Let me go back. Let me back this up here. Which she says that. It's so funny.
7 years, I've been coaching girls basketball. Ask the moms.
So what do you think is happening? What's happening?
I don't know, but I want a fair process where I can defend my integrity. And I know I'm telling the truth. I know my lifelong record. And I'm not going to let false accusations drive me out of this process. I have faith in God, and I have faith in the fairness of the American people. America's about fairness and hearing from both sides. And I didn't do this or anything resembling this. This is wrong.
So you are going to be pressed on something that you just said about people do things in high school, and you were all drinking. Were there times when perhaps you drank so much? Was there ever a time that you drank so much that you couldn't remember what happened the night before?
No, that never happened.
You never said to anyone, I don't remember anything about last night?
No, that did not happen.
Did you ever
Dude's
have
passing
any
a polygraph
sense
at least.
that any
You know what I'm saying?
kind of the description of the behavior that I just described with these, you know, women being taken into rooms and raped or having sex with a number of men, consensual or otherwise, that was going on at the parties that you were at?
I never saw any such thing. Any such thing. I certainly never participated in any such thing, but I never saw or heard of any such thing. And I was focused on trying to be number one in my class, and being captain of the varsity basketball team, and doing my service projects, going to church. The vast majority of time I spent in high school was studying or focused on sports and being a good friend to the boys and the girls that I was friends with. We have these great lifelong friendships that are fantastic, and supporting each other.
Maybe she's
through the
angry
ups and
because she
downs
wasn't
of
part of
life,
the group.
And you know, they're
She
an
wasn't
awesome
in the
group of
clique.
people.
Right.
You know that happens.
Yep.
You know that group, the cool kids, the popular kids.
Yeah.
And you want to be on it, and you hate them so much
Right.
that one time you're gonna knock their socks off. You're gonna do evil things to them.
So here are a couple of things. Somebody had said in the chat, and forgive me, I can't remember who it was. I just saw it go by. That why is he subjecting himself to this? And we covered this a little bit earlier, but
What
we
do you
didn't.
mean subjecting
Well,
yourself?
no. Why not just walk away? Why not say I don't want that's at this point, like Leah said earlier. If he steps down at this point, it's an admission of guilt, and he will never get a job ever again. This is the end of his career, one way or the other. Like if he walks away,
groceries,
or if they don't let him,
then he wouldn't even be able to bag groceries at the local grocery store because everybody would view him as a sexual predator.
Exactly.
He's got to exonerate his name.
I don't know about you guys, but I was pretty popular in high school, and we didn't go to public school. I think of my youth group, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still, even in school. Fairly, and I would be hard pressed to find 65 people in one night, maybe over a couple of weeks, that would come out, women or all one gender, to say, no, this person, Michelle, would never have done anything like that. The fact that he had that many people that would come out so quickly to say that in his defense.
Yeah. So Lindsey Graham, let's see. Internet's working.
Hilton says popular because I exposed someone. Yeah, no, that was 6th grade. I can't say I was popular in 6th grade. I was just average. Let's see. Did you see his face when the journalist asked the horrific stuff? It showed disgust, Zoe says. And a lot of people were really upset in the chat that she pressed him this hard to admit that he was a virgin and that he didn't have sex through high school. He didn't have sex through college. And he said it was many years after. I'll just leave it at that. People in the chat might find that embarrassing and that it's horrible that they would make him admit that. I'm like, dude, you're a hero. Like, how cool is that we have this upstanding guy that recognizes that there is a sanctity there, that you don't just go and just sleep with anyone. It proves in today's day and
remember,
age,
especially back then,
that he wouldn't do something
among
like
Catholic
that.
families, parents actually encouraged drinking in the homes.
Yeah.
So I don't even blame the kids at that point. It's the
Yeah.
parents who supply it. They were rich kids. The parents wanted them to drink. I know Catholic men. I have a good friend who is exactly Brett's age, who went through Catholic school, and he did the same thing. Like, the parents were like, it was a thing, and Catholic, that was a thing. So I you have to throw that out.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but he just admitted that he wasn't at the types of parties where people were going into bedrooms and sleeping around. Like, he's like, I wasn't even at that kind of a party anyway. It was literally just kids that were drinking.
Okay, I'm going to play this for you. Here's a timeless video of Hillary Clinton bashing a special counsel investigating her sexual predator husband while being interviewed by another sexual predator, Matt Lauer. Remember Matt Lauer, fired?
Yeah. He had sex toys in his office.
I cannot
He had like a door lock.
Volume. I can't get anything.
Matt Lauer. Creepy Matt Lauer.
Okay, is that orange thing turned off? Because it might be...
What orange thing?
The speaker, because I'm not getting any volume.
No.
Is the speaker turned off?
I don't know. Did
You know what I'm talking about? I asked you to turn it off. I'm not getting volume.
Oh, hang on. I turned it off.
Well,
it says it's connected to the television. Thought we already had volume on here. Did you try another video?
I don't know. No, I haven't been able to get any videos to play.
Well, they haven't been playing, but you're just not getting volume. Which one is it?
Both.
Okay, that's playing. Try another video and see if you get volume.
So frustrating, guys. I don't know what's going on with my internet right now.
Is it internet or just volume?
Both. I obviously
we can try this to see if the speakers got hit.
Is the speakers down there?
Well, yeah, they're on. Hang on.
Oh, that could be it.
Well, it's just not working. No, it's just
no volume, nothing. I love my life.
Do you want me to pull it up?
I don't know what's coming out. No, I want my computer to work.
You can't do it.
I will tweet it out. I'll tweet it out.
I have to do it.
Why?
Well, I just
tweet it out.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I can't even get the speaker to come up so I can try which one it is.
Oh, I closed it out. It's no good. Never mind.
Leah just had a meltdown.
I'm having a meltdown because evil people are attacking my computer right now. I can't get anything to play, and I'm really frustrated.
It's all a conspiracy.
It is always a conspiracy.
So Leah's going to tweet it out, and I will grab it.
Yeah, but what's going on with my computer?
I don't know.
I love my life.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you might have changed that speaker setting. Remember?
Right click on the speaker. That's what I was trying to do when she doesn't like me to touch her stuff. And that's not working either. I don't know what the deal is.
Because I have no speaker. Out? Yep, it's ready. It's no big deal. I just wanted you to see the Clintons.
Tweets.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
I love my life.
This is the rare moment where Michelle gets to remain calm.
I am calm. I'm just frustrated. It's still, I have the other little one.
Okay, you can tweet that out too and we'll play that.
No, it's already tweeted. It's like 3 down.
Okay.
4 down.
Who is Jennifer Flowers?
I can't get enough of these people.
You know her.
Oh, yes.
How do you know? How would you describe your relationship?
Very limited, but until this, friendly, but limited. I met her in the late 70s when I was Attorney General. And she was one of a number of young people who were working for the television stations around Little Rock. And, the people in politics and the people in the media knew each other then just as they do now. She left our state, and for years I didn't really hear from her and know what she was doing. Then she came back, sometime a few years ago, and went to work again in the state. So that's who she is.
Was she a friend, an acquaintance? Does your wife know her?
Oh, yes. Sure. She was an acquaintance, I would say, a friendly acquaintance.
She's a legend and is described in some detail in a supermarket tabloid, which she calls a 12-year affair with you.
That allegation is false.
When this woman first got caught up in these charges, I felt, as I felt about all of these women, that, they've just been minding their own business and they got hit by a meteor. I mean, it was no fault of their own. We reached out to them. I met with 2 of them to reassure them they were friends of ours. I felt terrible about what was happening to them. Bill talked to this woman every time she called, distraught, saying her life was going to be ruined. And, he'd get off the phone and tell me that she said sort of wacky things, which we thought were attributable to the fact that she was terrified.
It was only when money came out, when the tabloid went down there offering people money to say that they had been involved with me, that she changed her story. There's a recession on, times are tough, and I think you can expect more and more of these stories as long as they're down there handing out money.
I'm assuming from your answer that you're categorically denying that you ever had an affair with Jennifer Flowers.
I've said that before, and so is she.
You've said that your marriage has had problems, that you've had difficulties. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Is that some kind of, help us break the code? I mean, does that mean you were
think-
separated? Does that mean that you had communication problems? Does that mean you contemplated divorce? Does it mean adultery?
I noticed that too.
I think the American people, at least people that have been married for a long time,
Oh, yeah, she does.
know what it means and know the whole range of things that it can mean.
You've been saying all week that you've got to put this issue behind you. Are you prepared tonight to say that you've never had an extramarital affair?
I'm not prepared tonight to say that any married couple should ever discuss that with anyone but themselves. I'm not prepared to say that.
We have Brett Kavanaugh saying he was a virgin so well after college. And you have Slick Willie saying, I'm not prepared to say that I have never had an affair because that's between... That was a good move, though. Did you hear that? I'm thinking that, oh, this is a good answer. That was probably the worst answer you could have given. Like, there had to be another lie, like another slick lie. But that was like...
Bill just said that any married couple shouldn't discuss that, and yet Brett Kavanaugh just got asked about his virginity. That's not something that you should be able to just keep to yourself?
About anybody.
Look at her nodding.
I think...
Governor, that's what you... Excuse me. That's what you've been saying, essentially, for the last couple of months.
Look, Steve, you go back and listen to what I've said. You know, I have acknowledged wrongdoing. I have acknowledged causing pain in my marriage. I have said things to you tonight and to the American people from the beginning that no American politician ever has. I think most Americans who are watching this tonight, they'll know what we're saying, they'll get it, and they'll feel...
No, I get it. You're a sexual predator. You're like really disgusting.
...that we have been more candid. And I think what the press has to decide is, are we going to engage in a game of gotcha? You know, I can remember it.
Are we going to engage in a game of gotcha?
Time, and it was sad when a divorced person couldn't run for president. And that time, thank goodness, has passed. Nobody's prejudiced against anybody because they're divorced.
And now, no one should be prejudiced against anybody who's had an affair. Like, seriously.
That's exactly what he's saying. That's the comparison that he's making.
Right.
Are we going to take the reverse position now, that if people have problems in their marriage and there are things in their past which they don't want to discuss, which are painful to them, that they can't run?
I think most Americans would agree that it's very admirable that you have stayed together, that you've worked your problems out, that you seem to have reached some sort of an understanding and an arrangement.
We are the one world government. We have to stay together. If we're not staying together because we're together, we're in it because we have so many skeletons in our closet that if we separate, we both go to jail for a very long time.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're looking at two people who love each other. This is not an arrangement or an understanding. This is a marriage. That's a very different thing.
You know, I'm not sitting here as some little woman standing by my man like Tammy Wynette. I'm sitting here because I love him and I respect him and I honor what he's been through and what we've been through together.
She just said together.
Now, somebody had left in the chat earlier. I love that she's got a southern accent here.
She's just trying to tell people I'm just a little bit southern.
And you know, if that's not enough for people, then heck, don't vote for him.
A good friend of yours, one of your campaign advisors, told us the other day, Bill Clinton has got to level with the American people tonight. Otherwise, his candidacy is dead. You feel like you've leveled with the American people?
I have absolutely leveled with the American.
Lies. All lies.
Oh
Okay, we're
my
done
gosh.
with him.
Now, you said you wanted me to do one that was below here. This one?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
You didn't even look at it.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Liar.
Miss Lewinsky.
Following that blunt denial by President Clinton yesterday, his wife, First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton, candidly answered questions with NBC's Matt Lauer on the Today Show this morning. She wasted no time in slamming Special Prosecutor Kenneth Starr, accusing him of being behind the allegations that have rocked the presidency.
We get a politically motivated prosecutor who is allied with the right-wing opponents of my husband, who has literally spent 4 years looking at every telephone.
$30 million.
More than that now, but looking at every telephone call we've made, every check we've ever written, scratching for dirt, intimidating witnesses, doing everything possible to try to make some accusation against my husband.
Nearly 6 years ago, Clinton admitted that he had caused pain in their marriage, referring to the affair he had with Jennifer Flowers.
If he were to be asked today, Mrs. Clinton, do you think he would admit that he again has caused pain in this marriage?
No, absolutely not.
You're right. He wouldn't admit because he doesn't admit anything.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, somebody had left a comment that, and I saw this right before we went live, that Diamond and Silk had interviewed Juanita Broderick live tonight. So you guys can go and check that out. I'm sure that was excellent, excellent, excellent. There goes the puppy.
I'm going to try one more video. If not, I might have to have you bring this one up too. I'm just having technical difficulties tonight.
And that's all right because it's not the worst possible technical difficulties.
You're right.
They could be worse.
They could be worse. Where's my tweets? Wait.
Patricia Ann says, you ladies must have been so young when Hill and Bill took over the world. Yes, we were.
Actually,
yes, we were.
Was in second grade.
Yes, we were. We weren't even born yet.
Okay,
that's a joke.
Here's what Mitch McConnell, who doesn't normally have any exciting things to say. I just wanted to end on a happy note that Kimberly Strassel, good for Kavanaugh and good for Grassley Hatch Cotton, setting out a timeline, sticking to it, and forcefully calling out a smear campaign as the only way to end this circus. Think
is it here on your tweets?
It should be there.
Wait, let me.
Should be in that one.
This one right here?
It should be in that.
Okay.
I think it is. No, that's not it.
No, that's not it. Is it in another tweet?
I don't know why my stuff isn't working. It's really
well. We
frustrating
will look
me.
into it later, but we can get it now if you want to tell me where it is.
I've lost it. Mitch McConnell had a really cool. I think it might be this. No. Yeah. Is it this? Is it here? It might be here in a speech on the Senate floor. Yeah. Go ahead. Scroll down.
Back to the other one. I'm still scrolling.
No. Go back to the one I had you. I tweeted out.
This guy.
Yeah, and scroll down.
Okay.
This is what I normally do, and I bring them up, and my internet is not working.
With all of your efforts, and maybe it's nice. That
no, because you don't understand. Like my whole computer is like not working.
But you need to be helping me here.
No, just
this
there
right
it
here.
is, right
Here
there. Yeah,
is.
just play that.
Hang on.
I don't even know what to do right now. I can't because nothing is working on my computer. I have been angry about this all day long.
This new surface goes the perfect
No, I can't tell you. I'm just so mad right now. And the fucking computer not working. Yes, I am.
We have downtime when we want to watch TV shows.
That makes me angry.
Really let the surface go.
And that makes me angry. I'm getting my angry eyes. And
Democrats have already made up their mind and chosen their tactics. Delay, obstruct, and resist. Whatever it took.
Whatever it took.
Whatever the truth really was.
Seriously, I'm going to shut my computer down.
They were going to do whatever they could to stop this qualified, experienced, and mainstream nominee. Senate Democrats and their allies are trying to destroy a man's personal and professional life on the basis of decades-old allegations that are unsubstantiated and uncorroborated. That, Mr. President, is where we are. This is what the so-called resistance has become. A smear campaign, pure and simple, aided and abetted by members of the United States Senate.
Well said.
All right, so hopefully I don't have any video for this anyways. And I'm going to end with this silliness because today was National Walkout and Moment of Solidarity Day. They
We're
have
the Salmon Sisters. This new surface goes the perfect size. I do all of the art and design work, and Claire's behind all of the business operations. We have downtime when we want to watch TV shows. I really love the Surface Go.
And a bunch of celebrities were doing.
And these are highly unsubstantiated statements from people represented by lawyers. You should look into the lawyers doing the representation. Judge Kavanaugh is an outstanding person, and I am with him all the way. We'll see how it goes with the Senate. We'll see how it goes with the vote. I think it could be, there's a chance that this could be one of the single most unfair, unjust things to happen to a candidate for anything. But
Sorry. Retry again.
Just doesn't matter. We believe survivors, hashtag, they all have a movement. You guys, it's all George Soros. When you see the coordinated effort, okay, this is, when you see the Women's March getting in on it, the NARAL in on it, National Walkout, Moment of Solidarity, it's planned, you guys. They bust people in. Hashtag believe survivors.
Sean and Tracy are, it's 2:30 in the morning in the UK. And they are watching us waiting for their lift to the airport for their trip to Germany.
Hey, fun, guys.
That's really fun.
Time's up. They're doing a horrible movement here thing for real people of real victims.
It's embarrassing.
It is totally embarrassing. They have, I think that's Deborah Messing there. That looks like, I don't know who that is. You're not going to hear anything because no volume comes out. Full moment of silence. See? Fantastic. That worked out well. All these people. Join us in National Walkout and Moment of Solidarity. Wear black. Show solidarity with Dr. Ford. Here's the thing. Kosovic has them on audio, telling everybody, wear black. You know, buses will be leaving at 8:30.
And I love it's hashtag stop Kavanaugh. It doesn't even have to be anything else. They really are just trying to stop Kavanaugh.
Is that who I think it is?
Yeah.
Amber Tamblyn. Girl, honey, what has happened to you, sister? You need to be you too. You need to go. You do not look like yourself. What has happened to you? I'm just going to give you a couple of the crazy pictures. National Walkout. They had t-shirts already. See, I don't know if it's just
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's really strange.
Just my...
Well, something's going on.
Yeah.
We'll have to look into it. I bet you just need to bring it, shut it down.
I just need to shut it down. I think it might be just telling me just to stop. Nothing is working right now. Since everything is shutting down, we'll shut it down. National Walkout. You go see celebrities. They had t-shirts made up. Final thoughts. This is evil.
See, now it's all just coming up.
Believe
slowly.
Anita Hill. Believe Ramirez. What about believe Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, exactly. How about believe Juanita Broderick?
We believe these people. You shouldn't just believe everything you hear, okay? And I got to tell you, these people are not awesome.
I think that Milo Yiannopoulos would have something to say about these women that we will not.
Not going to do it.
We're not going to do that.
We thank you. We thank you for speaking up. No, we don't. We think you're lying and ruining a man's life. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something. In America, we are innocent until proven guilty. And
True.
I don't like lynch mobs. When it came to Senator Franken, we had a picture that went viral.
Yeah.
A picture. And then we had him joking, bad jokes, on audio.
Yeah.
And video.
Chris Holman says, thou shalt not bear false witness.
You bingo, baby. Okay, that's something that I wanted to bring up because that is so important. And I'll end on this because what they're doing today is a lynching. It is a mob.
Right.
And there are 10 commandments. And many of us think that thou shalt not bear false witness means thou shalt not lie. No. You shouldn't lie. But that's not what that means.
It means you shall not bring a false accusation
to
against
somebody,
someone else.
especially before a court.
Right.
A witness is somebody on the bench saying this person did this. When you accuse somebody of something that they didn't do,
right,
God's wrath comes on you just as much as if you were to murder someone or commit adultery. I mean, these are heavy deals that God hates, because one thing, God is about justice.
Right.
And if you randomly just believe people, especially when it's politically motivated like this, these people don't know what happened.
Nope.
It's not believable. There's nobody to corroborate it.
Here's the deal. Even if she had come out at the time, which she did not, she doesn't have anyone to back her up. She doesn't have any proof. It would not hold up in a court of law. Right. Okay? And so that's the problem with bringing this forward right now, is it's kind of like with Alex Jones. Has he done something illegal?
Right.
Has he done something that you can quantify, that you have proof of, that says this person deserves to be locked up? Henceforth, we need to censor them. The same thing with Brett Kavanaugh. He has not been convicted of any crime. There were never any police reports. It never was a thing that everyone talked about on campus. The people that she says were there do say that they were not. Her best friend, lifelong friend from school, says that she was not there and that she doesn't even know Brett. She has everything standing against her, and yet these people are coming out saying, I believe her.
And most of these women don't know that they're being used. There are real victims out there,
and that's what makes me really upset.
And
can we
that
hashtag
that look tells me I want to kill babies, because this is all about abortion, you guys. If you don't, this is all about abortion. Both women's false accusations. It's all about abortion, and this is your child on public school. Like, this is your brain and drugs. These are your young people raised on public school, and these are the results of the 1960s movement. Believe survivors? If there's proof, but there's no proof, because what happens if you're wrong?
Right.
They even have things. They have everything. You guys, this is George Soros. It's so embarrassing that these people would pimp be. What it is they're literally whores for Soros, the pimp. And the streetwalkers. They're literal streetwalkers for George Soros.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton and everybody is laughing their rears off that they have been able to mobilize these public school brainwashed people for a moment like this.
In all honesty, some of these people know it.
No, the older women do. The younger women are brainwashed.
Right.
There was a generation of women in the 60s, the burn the bra women. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
Then they got into teacher positions. They got into public schools. They got into universities. And they brainwashed women to hate men and to think that all women should be believed and all men should be distrusted. But there was another woman that was supposedly in that room. Are we not supposed to believe her?
Exactly. And that's also
She
disturbing.
says, I've never met Brett. So you're either wrong that girl was there with you, or it didn't happen. Okay? The same thing with the pants down thing. There were, I believe there were girls in the room there too, denying that this ever happened.
Right.
She doesn't even know that it happened. This is embarrassing. This is wrong, and it's a lynching. So let's just end in prayer.
Good idea.
God, I lift this up to you. There goes Jasper pottying, right? But she's got a diaper on, so we're good. I think you need to take her outside.
I took her outside.
I think she needs to go. Okay. We have an older dog, but we got these cute little diapers.
They're so cute.
So
they're washable.
We're good. Just getting ready to have kids, you never know. God, I thank you so much for everything that you are doing in our lives and in this country. But you never said it would be without a fight. And I thank you that when you're on the side of right, you will win. And so we gag Satan from false accusations. We plead the blood of Jesus over this country. I pray that you strengthen Judge Kavanaugh and his wife and protect them and surround them with your angels. I pray that you give Trump wisdom. And I can't believe I am praying for Trump on my show, but I am. It's just odd to me, but I'm going to go with it because I believe that our country is headed in a very good direction. And I believe that you are going to draw the hearts of the children to the fathers and the hearts of the fathers to the children. You're going to heal our country. And we're not going to listen to the crazy leftists just screaming like wild banshees out there, censoring us right and left and right. James Woods totally taken off of Twitter for a joke about elections and totally should be taken seriously. So I pray, Father God, that you give every person out there who is on the side of right wisdom, protect them. And I pray that you bring down this false God army from the top down. Cut the head of the serpent, and here we go, taken off for violence. I'm asking the Lord to remove evil, okay, in the spiritual realm. It says there's the thing, cut the head of the serpent, and the everything else falls down. So I'm asking God to do things. I'm not asking anybody else to go out there and do things. Okay, you pray. I'm asking you God to give.
Did you just put a parenthesis in this prayer?
I did, because poor Alex Jones.
We're still praying.
Yes, God knows. This is how you talk to God. You just pray. You just talk to him. God, I thank you that you're doing great things. I thank you that you're turning this country around. I pray that you bring healing to our country and healing to our nation and healing to our viewers and help them to be encouraged that you are turning this thing around and that the devil is coming at us with pitchforks and pointy ears, and we can recognize them. We can see it's George Soros, so we know what to do. We do have the ability to reach one another, and I thank you that you protect us online, keep us safe, and I just pray that we continue to follow you and that you turn this country around, bring people back to farms and using just weights and balances, and which would be gold and silver. And I pray that you just give every good patriot out there a dose of the Holy Ghost tonight, the strength that they need, the power that they need to overcome this evil. I have given you all power over wickedness and principalities in this world. I pray, Father God, that you encourage them. They're more than conquerors, and that when evil comes against them, they can just totally demolish them in the power of God. So I pray that we get together, Father God, in the power of the Holy Spirit, and we finally get our country back on track. In Jesus' name, pray. Amen.
Amen. So I actually, Chris says, the light of truth will shine through the darkness. Lies and those that spew them will be exposed in the end. I believe that 100%. Absolutely. Because here's the deal. Ultimately, God is a just God. And the Bible says, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So those that commit these acts in the dark, those that try to falsely slander righteous men and women will be exposed for who they are. So very well said. Chris says, I am on a sabbatical as I search after God. As the Lord leads, it will be his will. I will return in the future. That's very good to hear. We have missed you, and I'm glad that you dropped by in the chat. And it's good for our viewers to hear how you're doing as well. Leah has just exited the building to take Jasper potty.
What am I supposed to do?
But what I would like for you to do, actually, is in keeping with this theme, here's the deal. The thing that bothers me the most about these accusations to Kavanaugh, or whether it's Roy Moore or whatever, the false accusations, is that it takes away from real life trauma and things that happened to young girls and boys.
Right.
Our songs tend to be about girls because we are girls. But it does go both ways. So I would like for you to pick one song. Whether it is the one that we always tell the kids is rated PG-13 or Cinderella.
Okay.
Depending on which one. So,
I think I have one that would fit for both, because in the midst of all
I ask, is that too much? I asked for one of two songs.
I know, but I haven't.
But I not that one.
Why do you put yourself
I know.
in the judgment seat?
I know, but that's a piano song, isn't it?
Nope, you've never played it with me.
Okay. Wicked Psych says, you gals have a higher calling than the news. Yes, it's called being mothers. You can pray that in. You can just go ahead. Start praying that. If all of our viewers got together and started praying that, right? Mighty force, the heavens would shake. God would hear from all of our righteous viewers around the world. Like, it's like a Care Bear stare, even though I know that was kind of satanic, but visual. And everybody sends the prayers up. Turn video sound off. What do I have? Do I have something going? I shouldn't. No, nothing else is going. All right, so I really had my heart set on the one. I know what I'm gonna do. But if you want, you know what? There's your Yeti cup there. Do you need to pick?
No, but I am gonna redo this song.
Huh? You can't do that.
You know, I'm gonna pretend to. I can do this, and then I'll play another one. I have a song. Do you know where the yellow songbook is, or the red one?
I'm always asking for these things.
The red one, you know, the notebook one.
Okay, you have a guitar. Here, I'll look for it. You stay here with the people.
The red notebook one. I wrote this song, and it was actually written.
Because you take it.
What is going on? Oh my gosh! Finally, everything's like coming up. Demon possessed. I curse you in the name of Jesus. So weird.
It's probably upstairs.
I'm not even kidding you. Like, once they knew I was done with my stories, then everything is going to start working on my computer again. Yeah, not even kidding. Who has screen share on my computer? Somebody has hacked into my computer.
Okay.
So this was a song I actually wrote. I might want to try to sing it twice, 2 ways. Because we do need to think about victims, right?
Yes, we do.
In all of this, there are real victims.
Yes, there are.
And I have a song, and it was written after an old-fashioned song of a young girl who got pregnant outside of wedlock. And she, you can see a pregnancy on the outside, and everybody blames her for being pregnant, but there were 2 people involved in this thing.
Right.
But I think, and I've done this for a while, as sometimes words just come to me while I think that what I'm gonna make a song a little bit. I'm just gonna live make up a song like, you know, Jim with Drew Carey.
Now this is a good song. Don't get me wrong. I really would like it if you guys would stick around after this song for the song that I really wanted to get to play.
Okay, this is for Brett. You don't. Is there no cape on this one?
You don't know the story.
I'm gonna get it. You don't know the story.
I don't even know where the capo is. So here it is.
It's not a capo song. She's been my guilty by but what's going on in that young heart deep inside? You don't know the story. You weren't there. You're so quick to judge when you don't even care. She's been marked guilty by what you see outside. But what's going on in that young heart deep inside? It's always being said she got this to herself. There's no one else to blame. Is she the guiltiest? Is she the guiltiest? Oh, oh, oh. Why do you put yourself in that judgment seat? Do you have stripes on your back and nail scars on your feet? Salvation and judgment are in God's hands alone. I need you to stand up for those who can't stand on their own. I'll put you that with it. Behind those crying eyes, there's a heart that's broken. So there's something being given away. There's something that's been stolen. He said she was beautiful. She was his heart's desire. But she found out the truth too late, that he was using her. Oh, he was just a liar. Oh, she gave him all her love and all her sweet
it twice.
This is good.
I'm reading the words.
Okay, let me make up these words now. Okay, ready? Okay, just hang on. Just step aside for 1 second. You don't know the story. You weren't there. You're so quick to judge when you don't even care. He's been more guilty by what you hear outside. But what's going on in that Democratic convention or something inside?
In all their lives.
In all their lives. There you go. It's always been said, or it's being said. Oh, it's being said. Just always believe her. Nah, there's still cold faces.
Show their intentions are pure.
Oh, that's so good. That's good. It's always been, it's being said. Just believe her. But their stone cold faces show their intentions are not pure. Why is it now he got himself into this mess? Is there no one else to blame? Is he really the guilty? Yes. Is he the guilty? Is he the guiltiest? Oh, I say no. I say no. Why do you put yourself in the judgment seat? Do you have stripes on your back and nail scars on your feet? Salvation and judgment are in God's hands alone. I need you to stand up for those who can't stand on their own. Behind those lying eyes, there is a George Soros. Instead of something being truthful, it's something that's really remorse. What's the word I'm looking for?
Far worse.
Far worse. There you go. He said he was innocent,
And then they called him a liar. But we know where they're all gonna go. Is that pit full of fire?
why do you put yourself in the judgment seat? Do you have stripes on your back and nail scars on your feet? Salvation and judgment are in God's hands alone. I need you to stand up for those who can't stand on their own. Lord, flow through me with your healing power. Bring justice to this Judge Kavanaugh. Your truth, your power, this very hour. Bring your justice, your truth, your power, this very hour. Whoa, Lord, I need you to put yourself in the judgment seat, 'cause you have stripes on your back and nail scars on your feet. Salvation and judgment are in your hands alone. Lord, I need you to stand up for Judge Kavanaugh. Sing a song about it. It helps it too. They're a bunch of liars. They're deceivers. The devil's the accuser of the brethren.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun. Good job. No, you good job. This song actually totally different. Totally different vein.
But
I like this song.
yeah, but this like goes like counterintuitive to what
It does, but what I'm saying is that it bothers me that these women can come out and they can get all these movie stars behind them to stand up for them when we have real people out there that have suffered from these high school parties. They suffered from these situations, and their voices are now completely muddied.
Right.
Because now no one is ever going to want to believe anyone that comes out.
That's true.
So we used to play this song for youth groups a lot, and we would tell the kids that it's a PG-13 song. It's not really, but for a youth group it is. It's a very, very powerful, powerful song. So if you are watching and you have a shaded past that you regret, or something happened to you when you were a teenager, and you are one of these women or men that should be believed because of a situation like this, we stand in solidarity with you. And this song is for you guys. Movie stars and flashing lights, you're all dressed up to go dancing all night. Put on your makeup, your tight sweater, and your new skinny jeans, hoping to find some fun. Where your friends pull up, they honk the horn, you fly out the door, reaching back to grab the condoms your mom left you on your dresser. Hey, that's love. When you reach the party, you flip your hair to the other side, you put on that fake smile to mask the pain you feel inside. 'Cause last night Daddy got drunk and he threw your mom across the room. She told you to take little Johnny and hide in your room. Well, you crawled up in the corner as tears rolled down your eyes, and you cried. You cried, why? You cried, why? You cried, why? Why me? Why me? Oh God, well, there's a guy, he's been checking you out from across the room. He only makes his way over to you. Your heart goes pitter-pat as you think, God, is this the one? You have a few drinks and quite a few laughs. Well, the next thing you know, you're waking up in a stranger's bed as your mind races, trying to remember what happened. Whoa, you grab your clothes and your things, and you rush outside and you cry. You cry, why? You cry, why? You cry, why? Why me? Why me? Oh God, why me? We stand on the corner and you hail a taxi. The driver asks you, ma'am, where are you headed? Well, you got no strength, you got nowhere to go, you can't go home. But you remember one thing your grandma used to tell you. Oh, she said, honey, when you're out of strength and you got nowhere to go, she said, daughter, get on your knees. She said, daughter, get on your knees. Well, you tell the driver to take you to the church your grandma used to take you to. You go inside and your knees fall to the floor. Oh, and you finally feel that love you've been searching your whole life for. That day you asked Jesus to come into your heart. The pain is vanished and he's given you a new start. Well, you know things, it won't be easy, but you'll take one day at a time. God, the Almighty
take one day at a time. You got the Almighty Creator, and He's living on the inside. Hey now. Well, you know things they won't be easy, but you'll take one day at a time. You got the Almighty Creator, and He's living on the inside. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. And you cry, why? You cry, why? You cry, why? Why me? Oh God, why do you love me so? Why do you love me so? Why do you love me so?
Thank you. Thank you. I love that song. We have not played that one in a really long time.
I don't think we played it for our viewers.
I don't think we've ever played that for our viewers. So I want to thank you guys for being here.
Real victims.
Hashtag real victims. That should be the new
victims.
Twitter hashtag line for sure. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you to all of our moderators who were here tonight. We go live every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our European and UK news. We have a mail call to do. Maybe we'll do that one day this week. Like a one-off, as Tracy likes to say. Speaking of Tracy, Sean and Tracy, we wish you well. Have a wonderful trip, and we'll be praying for your safety. And Sean tells me that they will be giving us updates that maybe we'll be able to share with you guys. All right, so...
Is that more speakerware?
No, that's from last time. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory, if it's the truth. Like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels, Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We got a really great letter in the mail today that I want to read. And I think I have a couple of emails that I want to read. And I want you guys to know something. And I'm going to say this again when we do the mail call. And that is this. We reach people's lives that we don't even know. And we don't find out about it until you write. And you guys are the whole reason that we do this. So when I ask you guys and implore you to send us your letters, it's because when we get them, when we hear from you, when we hear that you and maybe your grandma sit down and watch Resistance Chicks, and I hear these details that prove that you watch all the time, that you know different things about our lives, it causes my heart to swell, and it makes all of this worth it. So those of you that have already written letters and emails letting us know your personal story for how you became a part of the Resistance Chicks family, or different things that you take away, or different thoughts that you have on different subjects that we cover, I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you guys. So you can send us your letters at P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio 45150, or you can send me an email at massfaith33, that's M-A-S, just one S, those are my initials. Faith is Leah's middle name, 33 at gmail.com. You can also find us on resistancechicks.com and on Facebook and Twitter. So good night. God bless. And
Kavanaugh is being falsely charged. I can tell you that.
Pray for that. Pray for justice.
I don't know about the rest of this dude's life. I just know these are the lies. That's all I can tell you.
Kelly says, amen. We love watching you gals. She also says she loves to hear us sing. John O'Connell says, the closest to angels I've ever seen. Thanks, Resistance Chicks. Very cool. So I'm not just asking you to write and compliment us, even though that's really awesome when you do. But I do want to hear your stories and your opinions on thoughts and your thoughts on the different subjects that we cover. So, all right. Good night to you all. God bless. I'm so glad that Chris Holman was able to pop in and give us a little bit of an update. It's always great to hear from you, Chris, if you're still watching. Gary says, God led me here while recovering from my motorcycle accident. We've actually had the privilege to meet Gary in person when he rode his bike through here on his way to visit family. So Gary is an excellent guy. He's always pushing us just in public, like, telling everyone that they should be watching Resistance Chicks. So it's so fantastic. All right, you guys, I'm really going to sign off. I hate to leave you, but I really must say good night, Resistance Chicks viewers. Good night. All right, we'll see you guys Friday. I was cold.